On the 25th of August 1942, the day before the fighting at Isarava began, Japanese troops, or more precisely Special Naval Infantry, came ashore at Milne Bay, east of Port Moresby, with the aim of capturing the airfield there. The Australians, knowing that such a landing was likely, had reinforced their positions. 4 days later, the Japanese sent in reinforcements of their own. On the 31st of August, the Japanese advances finally stopped at the airstrip itself, and the Australians began the task of slowly pushing them back to the sea. By the next day, the Japanese themselves had given up on capturing the airfield, aiming just to keep the Australians at bay long enough to ensure their own evacuation. By the 4th of September, the Australian advance was still moving. That afternoon, the 2 9th Infantry Battalion attacked a Japanese position at Goroni. During this assault, one of the Australian sections was held up by no fewer than 3 Japanese machine gun positions. The section commander, 28-year-old Corporal Jack French, attacked the nearest position alone and took it out with grenades. Returning to his men to get some more grenades, he attacked the second position and took it out too. He then assaulted the third position, this time with a Thompson submachine gun, firing it from the hip as he advanced. Although severely wounded, he kept on, killing the occupants of the third and final machine gun post before dying of his injuries just in front of the position. After the fighting at Goroni was over, the Japanese had very little left that resembled an organized, effective force. The next day they began their evacuation, though it was more than a month before the men stranded on Goodenough Island would be taken off. Although the Imperial Japanese Navy had already met with a decisive defeat at Midway 3 months earlier, the fighting here and at Guadalcanal just to the east, which was happening concurrently to this, represented the first major defeats on land for the Japanese during the war. This would not be the end of the New Guinea campaign, however, as the fighting there continued right up until war's end, nearly 3 years later.